Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good
Hope
evening,
my
sir.
voice is audible. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, and is my screen clear?
Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. So let me see who are all logged in. Raghu, Chetan, Manish, Narendra, Raghu, Shivu, Srinivas Reddy, Suchitra, Umesh, and Prasad. Okay. So 11 members have logged in. Gaurav has come in. Okay. Fine. So let us start today's session. It's already 7 to 1 minute past. Okay. So let's start today's session. So we'll continue with the voucher management behavior in Tally. So are there any questions with respect to yesterday's points that we discussed with respect to voucher management, voucher type management, voucher type master management? If there are any questions, this is the time to ask so that further we could discuss the other key topics, key points on voucher type master. Okay, and close the voucher type master topic today, and we can move to new topic from tomorrow. So if there are no questions, okay, we'll start today's training. We'll continue with the yesterday's topic, that is voucher type masters, its behavior in TallyPrime. The purpose of this training to ensure that all of you learn TallyPrime, understand how it could be adopted to your business, whereby it should result in increase in efficiency and eliminate duplication of work. Okay. So the basic understanding of voucher type templates are created for easy creation of vouchers. We can create any number of voucher types, and any voucher type that you create needs to be linked to an existing voucher type. So you cannot create a voucher type beyond whatever is existing, linking to the existing one. Okay. So yesterday we saw we closed at that print on save. So today we'll look at the voucher class. Okay, so how we could create the voucher class, what are all the additional things that you could do in voucher class. Then we'll also look at point of sale. Okay, if there is a retail billing, point of sale has to be done, how we could do that, how we could add the titles, how you could add bank details in your invoice, how you could add jurisdictions, declarations, number of copies, various things that we'll look at. Okay, so first let us start with voucher class. What is voucher class and why it is required? See, voucher class are created to ease out the data entry so that our user need not really worry about which ledgers needs to be selected, which accounts get debited, which accounts get credited. So as we told you that voucher types are nothing but the templates. Okay, it is refining of these templates to ensure that the data entry becomes more accurate and simple to do. Okay, so let me just give an example before we get into Tally. Okay, so let me just take an example of an organization. Okay, who has local sales billing, interstate billing, then who has exports. Okay, so in local sales, basically we will say we have uh, since we are dealing with products, we'll have transportation charges, then handling charges, then insurance. Okay, then you have the taxes, CGST, SGST, then you have round off. With respect to interstate sales, okay, so we'll have transportation. Okay, say example, we have all these three things. Okay, we have IGST and round off. When it comes to export, Okay, export will have additional cost. Okay, when we are doing the export one, it might be clearing charges. Okay, and then dockyard charges, then insurance. Okay, then you might have documentation charges. Okay, then you have IGST, then you have a roundup. Okay, assuming that we'll have these kind of ledgers which will participate. Okay, but every time I don't want to remember this and go on selecting the ledgers, but I want to have all these things configured so that it becomes easier for the data entry or entry person to operate. And I have only one voucher type called sales. Okay, so how do we get this configured? Okay, so let us just look at how could we configure this. Okay, so for sales I have sales local. Okay, sales interstate ledger, sales export ledger. Okay, so now if I need to configure all these things in Tally, let us see how we could use the voucher class and make this simple enough to operate. So I'm just opening Tally. Hope it's visible. The application is opening. Okay, so let me take the same GST company. Okay, so now if I want to have voucher class for sales, I could have voucher class for any voucher type. Say example, I'm just saying sales, so I'll go to alter and voucher type, I will select sales. Now assuming I have only one voucher type. Okay, so yesterday we discussed on this, right? So how you could have the voucher, these things configured. Okay, so typically I'll say no, I don't need this. Okay, and I have voucher class. So in the voucher class, I will say, okay, sales local. Now it opens a new dialog box, new subform, which will say which groups you want to exclude and which groups you want to include in the list. So I'll say exclude bank, okay, exclude OCC group, exclude branch groups, exclude sundry creditors, okay, show only cash and debtors. Even I don't want cash also, I'll show only debtors. Okay, now default accounting ledger. So which ledger it has to take? Okay, so in this example, if you guys get into Excel, we have told for local sales, it has to take sales local as the ledger. So I'll just say sales local. Okay, tax it will automatically configure. Okay, so I need not set the tax rate, it gets automatically configured. Okay, override item details. Okay, not required. I'll come to that later. Okay, now additional ledgers. What are all the additional ledgers I want? I want transportation charges, handling charges, insurance, right? So here I'll just say transportation charges. I've taken this. And how do you want this to be calculated? Okay, it's an user defined value or it is based on current subtotal or anything. So example, I'll just show you. I'll give you examples. Okay, say always say example, I'll just say transportation charges are based on user defined value. Because we don't know which customer, what is the distance of each customer. Then I will say handling charges is 10% of sales value. I want to default charge 10% of sales value as handling charges. Insurance. Okay, I could specify insurance example. I'll say 15% on subtotal on total sales plus handling charges plus transportation charges. So I'll say it as subtotal. Okay, now CGST, SGST is there, round off is based on the round off. If I want to configure this, so now I'm just saying transportation charges is user defined value. So I'll just come back to tally and I'll say as user defined value. So I need to key in the value. Okay, then I have handling charges, which is 10% on sale value. So I don't have handling charges as the ledger. I'm just creating handling charges. Okay, it's my direct income direct. Okay, it's not applicable. GST is applicable. I'm just saying yes, GST is applicable on this handling charges. Okay, which is typically at 18%. Example, it's a service I'm providing. Okay, as what? So here what you are told, it is percentage on sale, 10% on sale value. So I'm just saying it is as user defined value. So you have all these options as additional excise, okay, or flat rate, surcharge, amount rounding, user defined value based on quantity, based on current subtotal, based on item, based on total sales. Example, I'm just saying on total sales, basis is 10%. Do you want to round this off? Not required. Okay, so this is how I configured. The next is insurance. Insurance is 15% on subtotal. Insurance is not there. I'm just creating insurance. I'm just saying on sales. So this comes under again income for us. It's a direct income. Okay, and on insurance, yes, there is a GST taxable at 18%. Okay, so this is on what? Insurance is on what? Insurance is on 15% on the subtotal. So it should take sales plus transportation charges plus handling charges. On this, it should take 15%. So what I'll do is, I'll say it's on current subtotal and I'm specifying it as 15%. Round off is not required. Then I have output CGST. Okay, so it's not asking for any other details. It will auto calculate output SGST. Then I have round off as total amount rounding, normal rounding to 1 rupee, or you could say upward rounding, downward rounding, normal rounding, you could specify based on your need. Okay, so this is for my local sales local. Then I have sales interstate. Now, if it is interstate, again you could specify which group you want to exclude, which group you want to include. So I'll say, okay, exclude all these groups. Let only sundry data show me. Okay, now it has to go to sales interstate. So if this is not there, I'll just create sales interstate. So sales account. Okay, so this will pick from the master, so I don't really worry. Okay, now in sales interstate, what are all the this thing is the same thing. Transportation, handling, insurance, IGST. Transportation charges as user defined value, insurance on total sales 10%. Then I have handling charges on current subtotal 15%. 15% correct, right? Yeah, 15. Sorry, handling charges is handling charges. Sorry, insurance was transportation charges, then handling charges, then insurance. Okay, transportation charges, then handling charges. Handling charges on total sales 10%, then insurance on current subtotal 15%. Right? Then I have output IGST, then I have round off as total amount rounding to normal 1 rupee. Okay, then I have sales exports. Okay, similarly, I'll say which are all the groups I don't need over here. Okay, so here it should go to sales exports. I'm just creating a ledger called sales exports. Okay, then what are all the things you need? Here you need clearing charges. Okay, so clearing charges, I'll just say clearing charges is 25% of sales. Okay, dockyard charges, it depends on user defined value. Okay, then anyhow insurance is same, we'll take 15%. Okay, then documentation charges. Okay, we'll just specify this as also as user defined value. Okay, then anyhow IGST is there, this is there, right? So I'll just say clearing charges, it's not there. So I'll just create clearing charges as direct income. Okay, so this also has the GST portion at 18%. All services are 18%. Okay, so this is what clearing charges is, 25% on sale. So I'll say on total sale, 25%. And you could say, okay, round it off. I want it to round it off, upward rounding to nearest 10 rupee. Okay, since most of the export bills will be based on the this thing. Okay. Then I have dockyard charges. That's also not there. Dockyard ledger is not there. I'm just creating dockyard charges, specifying the GST rates, 18%. Services. Okay, so dockyard charges is user defined value. So I'm just specifying it as user defined value. Then I have documentation charges. That's also user defined, sorry, insurance. Then I have documentation. Or insurance is on subtotal. So first let us take documentation charges, then let us take insurance. Documentation charges, again create. Documentation charges, direct income. There's also taxable at 18% as user defined value. Then I have insurance on current subtotal 15%. Okay, I don't need round off. Then I'll say output IGST. Then I have round off. Okay, so I'll just say as total amount rounding, upward rounding I need to 100 rupees. I'll say since it's an export bill, I don't export invoices, I don't want rupees, paisa and all. I want to round off to nearest 100 rupee. Sorry, upward 100 rupee, not nearest 100, upward 100. All those things that I could define over here. Okay, so I'm just saving this. So I just created the voucher class in Tally for my sales. Now I go to voucher, select sales. See here, when I select the sales, it will automatically ask me which voucher class you want to use. So it's asking, are you doing a local sale or an interstate sale or an export sale? Okay, so let us do all three sales and see how it works. So example, I'll just say I'm doing a local sale. So you could look at here, transportation charges, handling charges, insurance on sales, output CGST, output SGST, everything is auto appeared. Okay, so now let me just make one local sale. Okay, say example, Skanda Agencies is my local customer in Karnataka. Okay, so he is buying, say example, coconut oil, 25 liters. Look here, 25 liters, which is automatically calculated a lot of things. 8,750. Handling charges is 10% on total sale, that is 875. That's automatically taken. Okay, then insurance on sale, 15% on current subtotal. The current subtotal is 9,625. And on that, it has taken 15% as 1,443. Okay, then you have output CGST, SGST, and a round off, and it's taking us the value. Okay, so now let me do one thing. Let me just add one more item to this. Vico toothpaste, 100 numbers at 80 rupees. Now it has become 16,750. So my transportation charges is user defined value, that's still open. Handling charges is 10% on total sales, that is on 16,750 it is 10%. Okay. Now once when I click on enter, okay, it is asking me what is the transportation charge. Now if I update the transportation charges, say example transportation charges, I'll just say 1,000 rupees. Now automatically it has, the cursor has come to your total value. So all other things have got auto calculated. Okay. So 1,000 rupees, handling charges is 10% on total sales, so that will remain 1,675. The subtotal become 19,425. On that 15% is your insurance value. So if you just look at, okay, if you open calculator and say 19,425 into 15% is 2913.75. Right? Now I'm just closing this transaction, making a sale entry. Tax does not match. It is saying tax is not matching. Do you want to check? Okay, let me just say I'll check this at later stage. Review the invoice. Look, coconut oil 250 liters, Vico toothpaste 100 pieces. You have 16,750 on that. Transportation charges, there is an SAC code. We are charging 1,000 rupees. Handling charges 1,675. Insurance, okay, on sale 15%, and there is an output SGST and CGST and round off. Okay, now your data entry has become very simple. Okay, you need not worry. So example, if you just go back, okay, so you didn't calculate what was your handling charges, what was your insurance. Okay, all those things are auto calculated based on the formula that you are specified. Okay, now if you want to look at how your accounting entry has taken place with this, you could just click on change, go to change mode and say as voucher. Look here, which has got debited, which has got credited, all those things are available. Kanda agencies have got debited with 25,691, local sales 16,750, all other ledgers have got credited. Okay, so in this change mode, you could also look at how the accounting has taken place. Is this clear?
Sir, we can also put by kilometer wise also, if possible, right? Number of kilometers you can able to see. This is actually you are taken directly percentages.
Correct.
Sometimes transportation happens within 5 kilometer, within 10 kilometer. Then according to that, you specify in the master, they can pull out the data. No.
No, which master used? Kilometers.
So it is manual entry only, manual entry.
Manual entry you have to do. Then it's a user defined value.
Okay.
It's user defined value. Okay, so now let me go to one more sales. Okay, I'm just clicking on sales. Now I'll say I want to do an interstate sales transaction. When I click on interstate sale, okay, now accordingly my ledgers are participating in the transaction. For example, I'll just change the date to 2nd of April, 2nd of July. Okay, Now again it's showing me only the customers. Okay, the list is showing only sundry debtors. It is not showing any others in the list, because in the list we are controlling to show only sundry debtors. So I'm just taking just connect. Okay, again example, I'm just taking coconut oil 30 liters, 10,500. Sony TV 10 numbers at 35,000 rupees. Look here, 3,50,000, 3,60,500. Okay, now transportation charges is a user defined value. Handling charges, it has automatically taken as 10% on 3,60,500. Insurance is 15% on 3,96,550. Okay. So now I'm just saying transportation charges is 5,000 rupees. So automatically it has calculated everything, and the transaction is ready for invoice. Okay, so this taxation is just giving me some error because some calculations are not proper. Okay, not an issue. Because transportation charges is at 5% tax. Okay, but I have defined it as 18%. That's the reason. Okay. Hope this is clear. Okay. So now let me take one exports. So again, I'm clicking on sale and specifying it as exports. Now in exports, most of the things are rounded off. We are rounded off to 100 rupee value, right? So I'm just taking this. Okay, so Ganesha Tech, no, I'll just say Infosys Tech, or sorry, not Infosys, I'll just say Aditya Inc., sundry debtors. Okay, so this is say not applicable. Country is Singapore. Okay, so I'm just updating this. Okay, same coconut oil, 100 liters, 350 rupees. Then I have Gillette shaving cream, 100 numbers, 220 rupees. Then I have Rico toothpaste, 100 numbers, 80 rupees. So 65,000 is my value. Okay, so clearing charges is 25% on 65,000. That is 16,250. Dockyard charges is user defined value. So example, I'll say in this transaction, dockyard charges is 10%. So it has automatically taken 6,500, 10% on the total sales value. So at the user level also, you could give some percentage. Okay. Then I'm saying documentation charges is 2,500 rupees. Okay. Now you could look at, it has automatically taken insurance on sales as 15% on this thing total. Okay. Then you have output IGST. Okay. Then you have round off. Round off, currently there is nothing round off. So let me do one thing. Okay. The documentation charges, I'll just change this value to 2,512 rupees. When I say 2,512, look at here, the round off value, it has taken 85.84 because I want to round off to the upper 100 rupees. That is what we have defined. So once you are rounding off to upper 100 rupees, so it is automatically calculating and saying what is the round off value it has to pick. Hope this is clear. Okay. So now, since it's an export invoice, on the top it specifies saying that supply meant for export or supply of to SEZ unit or SEZ developer for authorized operations on payment of IGST. So this is since the customer is out of India, or the customer, if he is in India, he is an SEZ. Okay, so the country is also specified here, Singapore, and you are able to see the complete transaction. Is this clear? So the key is when you are defining the voucher types, okay, there in the voucher types, okay, you could go and define the voucher class. Okay, so based on this definition, it will automatically start calculating. Okay, hope this is clear. Any questions on this? Is this clear? I'll just give 30 seconds time if anyone has any questions. Okay, you could unmute and speak. Okay, so looks like everyone is clear. Okay, so let's move to, in the voucher class, let us also move to other type of configurations that you could do in the voucher class. Multi-currency adjustment. Okay, this we will take when we are doing the multiple currencies in Tally. Okay, so we'll be taking up this topic in tomorrow's session. So this we'll look at in tomorrow's session. How do you do the multi-currency adjustments? How do you enable the multi-currency? All those things that we'll see in tomorrow's session. Then the inter go down transfers. So typically Tally supports multiple go downs. Okay. So if you are having multiple go downs, then if you are transferring material from one go down to another go down, how you could use the stock journal to do that. Okay. So that we'll just see that. So the multiple go downs, I'll take it in a different session, but still let me just give you a glimpse of how you could do that. Okay, say example, if you want to have multiple go downs, first you need to create go downs. So here you have go downs. By default, only main location is there. So here it says main location exists by default for the company. Do you want to alter main location or create a new go down? Okay. So example, I'm just saying, yes, I want to create a new go down. Example, I'm just saying Malleshwaram is one go down. Okay, then Jayanagar is one go down. Okay. Now, whatever items that I have, or now when I create a master or the existing stock items, or when I create a stock item, say example, I'm just saying computer RAM. Okay. So unit of measure is numbers or pieces. Pieces. Okay. Order measure is not required. Okay. GST is applicable. Taxable at 28%. Okay, say example, now I'm saying I have 100 numbers in my stock. Once when I click on 100 numbers, it is asking in which location you have. Now, for every item, whether it is inward or outward, you have to start giving the location details, go down details. So, to which go down it has to get accounted. So, example, I'm saying in Jayanagar, out of 100, 30 is in Jayanagar. Sorry, 30 pieces in Jayanagar. Rate, I'm sorry, I took it under rate. Okay. Rate is 1,200 rupees. Okay. In Malleshwaram, I have 40 numbers or 50 numbers at 1200 rupees. Then balance I have in main location 1200 rupees. Okay, so I have specified this. Now I need to transfer 10 numbers from Malleshwaram go down to Jainagar go down. So how do I do the stock transfer entry? I need to go to voucher types. I need to go to stock journal and do the stock transfer entry. But to simplify that, I could also create a voucher class. Example, I'll just create a voucher class here, voucher type, and I'll say stock journal. Okay, in the stock journal, I'll come to the voucher types and I'll say inter unit transfer or inter godown transfer is the voucher class name. Now it is asking use class for inter godown transfer, specified as yes. Okay. Now once you enable this, then you go to voucher entry. Okay. Then you go to stock journal, Alt F7. You could select the stock journal. Okay, and you have interstate here. You could select this, or you could just click on stock journal. It will ask for voucher class to be used or not applicable. Specify voucher class. Now, what is the destination go down? From Malleshwaram, I am transferring 10 number of RAM to Jainagar. So destination go down is Jainagar. So specified as Jainagar. And which item? Computer RAM. From which go down you are picking? So from which go down you are transferring? From Malleshwaram go down. How many numbers? 10 quantity. Okay, it's taking the cost. Okay, so you could simplify the way you do the transaction. Hope this is clear. So the material 10 numbers have been moved from Malleshwaram to Jainagar, and it's an inter-unit transfer. So even that you could configure using voucher class. Okay. Then for statutory adjustments also, you could use voucher class. Say example, let me just take an example of journal entry, because most of the statutory adjustment you do only through journals. So I'll just go to alter, voucher types, journal. Okay, I'll come here and I'll say use this stock journal. Use voucher class. Narration voucher types. Allow use of voucher class. Yes, have enabled this. Okay. Let me just check why it is not taking the voucher class in journal. Okay, just hold on. Just be on the line 1 second. Okay. I think we need to enable multi-currency for voucher to get the voucher class. Example, let me just do one thing. USD. Let's put USD. Okay, so I'm just creating this. Okay, now I think it will allow me to enable the voucher class. Yeah, used for forex exchange gain or loss. Okay, so this we'll discuss in tomorrow's session. But otherwise, you could use this for other things. Okay, so currently it is only for the GST classifications that is getting used. Okay, if you are using in the default journal, okay, what you could do is you could just go to the transaction. Okay, and in the transaction, you could have the stock adjustment, that is the GST adjustment entry. This also takes you as a voucher class behavior itself. So you could specify what you need to do. Based on that, you could do the transaction. Okay, so you need to enable multiple things for that to work. But most advantageous that you get is during the sales and the purchase, where you want to have an automated uh, classifications of the masters. So you don't want to allow the users to select whatever they want. In that case, it is just like a template. You could design the template and specify whichever the masters it has to auto participate, which will automatically take based on your configuration. Okay. Then let us move to the other topics. The first is basically POS, point of sale. What is point of sale? Basically, if I'm doing any sales over the counter, the behavior of sales over the counter, if I'm doing and I'm using Tally, how could I use this? Is what we need to understand. Okay, because there are few characteristics of behaviors in point of sale. What are the characteristics and behavior of point of sale? Most of the time, in the point of sale, it's a cash sales or credit card sales today. Either they pay through credit card or they pay through cash or they pay through the wallets. Okay, so the adjustment happens then and there. That is one. So normally there is no credit in POS. Second, the behavior is the customer is ready to spend 1 hour to do the shopping, but he gets very much irritated standing in the line. So the billing has to be really fast. Okay, the customer generally doesn't want to stand in the queue. They get irritated very fast. Okay. Then the third you need to understand is, in most of the time, the person who is doing the billing will not have a lot of information like what is the rate that he has to charge. Okay, what is the item details? All those things should be pre-feeded. Okay, then the bill value is 98 rupees 64 paisa. Somebody gives 100 rupees. Okay, how much should I return back? Okay, so most of the time it should show it on the screen. Otherwise, it becomes difficult for somebody to do the calculation. Okay, and these are all the things which is time consuming. Okay, which irritates the customer to stand in the queue. Right? So how could we configure that? Okay, I'll just show you the sample of how you could configure the pause, okay, in Tally. So example, let me just create one more voucher type itself, new voucher type. Okay, call it as sales pause, point of sale, which typically comes under sales. Okay, so I'll just say it's automatic numbering. Okay, allow zero valued entries, yes. Okay, so print after save. Here it is asking an option called use for pause invoicing. That is point of sale invoicing. Yes, I want to use. So what is the message? So first message and second message. Thank you, or you could say goods unsold will not be taken back. Thank you. Visit again. Okay. Default title, tax, invoice. Okay, you could set the declaration also. Now you can set the pause configuration. Okay, so currently I'll not set any pause configuration. Let me see how it works. I've just enabled the pause and I've saying yes. Okay, now when I go to a voucher and select sales, so it is asking me whether it is normal sale or pause sales. I'll select pause sales. So first, since I've enabled the godown, it is asking from which godown you are picking the material. Example, I'll just say from main location. Okay, so to which customer you are selling? Aditya Inc. Okay, to which sales account it has to go. Now, what is the item? The example coconut oil. You just observe when I click on enter. Okay, it has default taken one number and it has moved shifted to the second line. Okay, if I want to change the quantity, I could just say backspace and change it to 2 quantity. Annapurna Atta, it has automatically taken. Okay, then I'll say RAM, it has, or because I have not specified the rate, it has not taken the rate. I'm just saying 1500. Okay, then I'll just say ID say King Cigar, it has automatically taken. Okay, now what I need to do, output CGST. Okay. Oh, Aditya Inc. is which location? 1 second. Oh, he's Singapore. Okay, let me just change the customer to Anand Agency. Okay. Okay. So output is GST round. Okay. So now I've done this transaction 3049 rupees. Now, how much? So how it is being settled? I have not created any credit card or card settlement or wallet settlement or anything. So it is default. I have only cash. It is asking for cash. So I'm selecting cash and how much customer has given. So it was 3049 rupee. Customer gave 4000 rupee, 2000 rupee notes, two numbers he gave. Then it will automatically tell you what is the balance you have to return 951. Okay, fine. So since cigar was there, I have not taken the cess into account. So it is giving me some warning. Okay, so now I could also even print in a small paper that you will get in a lengthy paper, right? Which generally prints on your POS. Okay, you could also configure this POS to say how it has to print. Say like example, Medha Consultancy Services billing, bill number 1, 3rd of July, buyer is Anand Agencies. time. It is also printing the time, at what time the invoice has got generated. Look here, coconut oil, all items are listing out HSN code, quantity, rate, value. CGST, SGST round off with all the tax details. Cash was 3049, cash tendered was 4000, balance to return is 951. Total paid is 3049. Goods unsold will not be taken back. Thank you. Visit again. So whatever that you need to keep and configure this. Okay. So this is one way of simplifying your data entry. Okay. Now I will specify saying that, okay, I want to have few more details so that it becomes easier for the user to operate. So I will just go back to sales pause. Okay. Now I will select. The first thing is I could just go and click on FL configure. Okay, allow pause, allow, okay, voucher class, I have selected this allow voucher class. Okay, so now I'll just go to class, I'll just say pause. So now, what are all the options you want? Do you want to allow gift vouchers? See, generally, employees will get some Sodexo passes, various things. So do you want to allow gift vouchers? You could allow that. Do you have debit credit card entries? So gift voucher should get accounted where? I'll just say Sodexo gift vouchers. This also comes under sundry data only. Okay, then credit card gets adjusted in which bank? HDFC Bank. Say example, I'm just taking check or DD. If you are collecting, no, I don't require check or DD. I don't accept that. I accept cash. Okay, then default it is a local sale only because it's all over the counter which is happening. Okay, so there are no other things. Then I have output CGST, output SGST, output cess. Then I have a round off, or I could also add one more, packing charges. Okay, it's a direct income. Okay, on this, yes, there is a GST of 5% service. Okay, packing charges. Uh, is or I will just say on flat rate. Example, I'm just giving. The flat rate I'm charging 10 rupees as packing charges, irrespective of the invoice. Okay, then I have output CGST, output SGST, then I have output cess, then I have a round off as total amount rounding to normal 1 rupee. Okay, so what I've configured gift vouchers, I've configured to collect through credit card and debit card, which has to go to HDFC Bank. Okay, then I've configured cash, which has to take it to the cash account. Then I have only local sales since it's a counter sales. It is just a local sale. I have packing charges, default 10 rupees is will be charged for that. Okay, then I have the tax configured and the round off configured. Okay, so now I'll go and make an pause entry, and I'm selecting F8 pause with, see here, lot more has got configured now directly. Okay, so to whom are you selling? Okay, so I'm selling to Ramesh. Okay, so pin code. These are all optionals. You need not give any of these things. I'll just say is a consumer. So what are you selling? Atta 1 kg. Okay, then coconut oil 1 kg. Then computer RAM one number. Then I have cigar one number. So if you could look, just look at, you are just selecting only the item. It is automatically taking the quantity, rate, and every detail. Okay, then default you could see here, packing charges 10 rupees it has taken. Okay, output CGST, SGST, and cess it is calculating. Round off it has done. Okay, now I'm ending up with this 4 items. When I click on enter, so it has automatically come to the gift voucher column. Out of 2,887, how much is getting adjusted by gift voucher? So the customer is giving, the bill for the customer is 2,887. The customer is paying 1,000 rupee through gift voucher. Now balance he has to pay is 1,887. That is what it is showing. It is getting adjusted with card. It's an example. I'm just saying it is getting adjusted with card. Now you can give the card number. So whatever the card number you want to give, you could just give that card number. I'm just giving last 4 digits of the card number and saving this. Okay, now take a print. So this you can print on a small paper with the small printer. Okay, so it shows you, gives you all the items, HSN code, the quantity, amount, and the value, packing charges 10 rupee, output CGST, SGST, cess, at what different rates the tax is charged. Though it is only common ledger of output CGST, SGST, it has given you a breakup of 2.5% is how much, 6% is how much, 14% is how much, 100% cess how much has been collected. Then it says gift voucher 1,000 rupee, credit card or debit card is 1,887, and it is giving you the last 4 digits of the card number. Okay, and you could just configure it to print on your small thermal printer, and you could start with the next transaction. Hope this is clear. Are there any questions on this about the POS invoicing? How to configure this POS, is it clear? Okay. So the next is the titling. Okay, so the titling is very simple. When you get into the voucher master, so what is the title you want to print? If you are a registered GST vendor, okay, it will be tax invoice only. Okay, or if you are not a registered vendor, then you could say bill of supply. Okay, so you could specify this. Whatever you give here will get automatically picked while printing. If you want, you could change while printing. So example, I'll just go to transaction. So I want to print this. When I click on Control P for print, on the right hand side, you have the title. You can go and change this title if you want. If you say you want to make it as bill of supply, you could say bill of supply. You want to make the changes, you are always welcome. You could just go and do the changes for your title. Okay. So that is one simple thing that you could, based on the need while printing, you could change this. And the next is on the invoice, if you want to ensure that you want to add your bank details. How do you add your bank details? In this example, it's already showing you the bank details. How do you ensure that you add the bank details over here? Again, on the voucher master, alter voucher types. Here, which should be your default bank? You could go and select automatically whatever the information that you have updated in the bank master will get auto populated on your saving. Okay. Then you could also specify the jurisdiction, under which jurisdiction you are doing the business. Okay, so the same gets printed when you are printing an invoice. So example, I'll just show you. When you print, in the bottom, it says subjected to Bangalore jurisdiction. Okay, so that is where you could give this detail. Okay, then the last one is declaration. So whatever you have declared, say example, in case of the normal sale entry, okay, I have given a declaration here. You could read the declaration, which says, we declare that this invoice shows the actual price of the goods described and that the particulars are true and correct. Okay, so if you want to change this declaration, you could go and change this declaration. Very simple. Okay, you could again go back to the voucher master, alteration of the voucher master. Okay, and here you have an option called set alter declaration. Okay, this is where you have given the declaration. Whatever you go and update here will just get printed on your invoice. Is this clear? Okay, so these are some of the critical things that you need to know while you create a voucher type or you want to have a pre-configured voucher type to ensure that the data entry becomes simpler. Okay, so are there any questions on this? What we covered today? So if there are any questions, this is the time you could ask. Okay, so that we could look at your questions and we could answer your queries. Else, I have completed my topic for the day. And you could also share your feedback, okay, with by recording a minute or two video and share it on the WhatsApp group. So about us, we are 5-star Tally certified sales and implementation partners. We do custom specific trainings. We sell Tally software. We do the renewals for Tally. Okay, we help customers to put Tally on cloud. Okay, we do GST implementations, TDS implementations, payroll implementations. Okay, various things that we do. Okay, we also help customers to set up Tally in the right way. We also do custom development on Tally. Any specific requirement, we can ensure that we can support you in development. Okay. So if you do not have any questions, we could say call off for the day, and tomorrow again we could connect at 7 o'clock. And the topic for tomorrow will be multi-currency in TallyPrime. And let me just inform you, Wednesday we will not have the session. Okay, I will be traveling. I'll not be in the town. I need to travel. So we will shift the Wednesday's session to coming Saturday. Right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Gautam here.
Yes, Gautam, please tell me.
Sir, in sales POS entries, we made a mode of payment. We made columns, right, sir?
Right.
Can we get a detailed report for that at the end of the day?
Yeah. So here, say example, we did the sales entry. So in this case, the mode of the entry was gift voucher 1,000 rupees, credit card 1,887. Okay. In the earlier transaction, it was only cash. Right. So now
Yes,
you
sir.
want the complete report on what? Of what?
Separate. I want separately for cash and separately for bank statement.
Separately for cash and bank statement. See,
Is it possible in Tally, sir?
Okay. Yeah. So look at here, POS register. Click on this POS register. Okay. So here you have transaction wise. how much cash has been gift voucher,
Okay,
card,
okay, sir.
check, cash. Is this the report you're looking at?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is already available.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so if there are no questions, we can close this session. Tomorrow again, we'll connect at 7 o'clock. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks.